All right, let's get right into the news.
Oh God.
I'll probably keep that in.
No, please don't.
Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. Mommy made me mash my M&Ms.
Is
Mommy
that
made me mash my
real?
M&Ms. I don't know.
It
It'll
sounds
probably
real.
help.
Can't even do
It's just
that.
it's the alliteration. It's like to help you motor skill. I don't know.
Might improve your motor skills, yeah. I was gonna say it might warm up your lips.
That's primarily. I think I remember like going to a studio one time and like they did like an alliteration. And I think one of them was using that. So
Hello.
hey,
Welcome to Hello. This is
hey,
episode 1, right?
perhaps
Episode 1.
unless
Pilot 1.
we're doing a pilot
Well,
episode
usually
one.
isn't the pilot the first episode?
No,
I'm pretty sure it is. It can be.
no, I think you're wrong.
Well, anyway, this is
Double Space Telescope
Double
podcast.
Space, Double Space Telescope,
DST
DST,
shit.
whatever you want to call it.
Uh, this is just this ain't your mama's ordinary podcast. We cover things.
We cover things that everyone covers, so this is your mom's podcast.
Yeah, you could throw us on. Show us the nanny.
Throw us on when you sleep, and then we'll scream randomly and wake you up in the middle of the night, and then you'll not never listen to us again.
For sure, for sure.
So don't do that.
So tell me,
Yeah.
what are the topics for today, my good man?
Well, I thought we were just gonna shoot the shit for a couple minutes and then segue into it, but if you want to go right into
Okay.
it,
Hey, man, this is why it's a pilot, man. We still figuring things out.
I mean, I feel like there really is no formula for this thing. I feel like it's when you
No, just
slow
talk.
down.
Just talk. It's a podcast. I can
Exactly.
read you the definition of podcast right now.
I'd rather not.
It's the act of podcasting.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know,
Is that
right?
Merriam-Webster who wrote that? I always thought about that. Do you think there's someone who is there one person who writes the dictionary, or do you think it's like a whole company that does it? It's not Merriam-Webster
No,
anymore.
the man himself. Nah, I'm pretty sure
I
it's
thought
just
it was a
like.
woman.
Is it?
Let me look.
Uh, well, whoever this individual is, I'm pretty sure it's not just
Uh,
one individual because that's way too much.
Person. It might be like Mavis. I almost say Bacon every time. Mavis Beacon, where the person's not even real.
Oh, so it's like a made up name.
Yeah, sometimes they do that. They do that.
It do be like that.
This is an 1831 Georgian Charles Merriam. So I don't know where the Webster comes from.
Webster, online web.
Oh, wait.
Makes sense to me.
Practice. Well, there's a person called Daniel Webster, but I don't think this is related. Whatever. That's really I always just thought about that stuff.
Well,
Oh yeah, by the way, are you on Do Not Disturb right now?
no, I am not. I should do
Probably
that.
do that.
I should do that.
I just turned it on. That
Doing
way
that
we
as
don't
well.
get calls.
Yep. Well, I'm
Anyway,
not the most popular guy either, my man.
I mean, that's true. I'm not gonna flatter you. That's
Thanks,
just
man.
true.
I was going for flattery, but.
All right. Dictionary aside, what's been up? It's been a while.
Like this dick.
Oh wow,
Got him. Ha ha ha. Funny.
you're really funny.
I mean, humor is subjective. Uh.
Well, to me that was subjectively bad.
Okay.
We continue.
Okay.
I digress. Continue.
So I've been exploring this game.
What game?
It's called Back for Blood. You might have heard of it.
I might have heard of it. I also might have tried to play the beta and it wouldn't let me play it, so that was fun.
Maybe just get good, man. I don't know what
Got
to
the key
say.
and everything. Downloaded it for several hours and then wouldn't let me play with my friends. But it's a good first impression.
Well, I don't know about you, but I had a blast. Um, but yeah, the
What
game came out recently. I've been testing it out, and I'm having a blast. It's literally what you saw in the beta, but
did you play with other players or did you just play in single player?
I play with other players. It can be nice. It can be not nice sometimes.
I've
From what
heard
I've heard, you can go.
oh sorry. From what I've heard it's just like it's obviously going to be sort of like Left 4 Dead where if you have friends it's better to just play with friends.
It
So
is.
I think it'd be better not to have randoms and even better just to have like your friends and not have computer players because I'd imagine they didn't fix that formula for Left 4 Dead where the computer players are just brain dead.
No, I mean they're not too bad. The computer, the CPUs, they mark stuff for you. They heal you. You can take over one of their mindless bodies if your character yourself dies. You can take over.
When you mean mark, they mark enemies.
No, I think they do sometimes actually, but I know they mark like the currency or whatever the points. Oh,
Oh, there's currency.
you never played it. It's not really currency, but it carries through a run, and for these points you can use them to buy a better, possibly better weapon, or buy a toolkit so you can unlock a door or a health pack if you really need it.
Wasn't there a card system? How does that work
There
in the
is a
game?
Yeah, there is a card system. You unlock him through essentially what I guess is in some sort of way is like as you complete a level you unlock survivor points or challenge points, whatever the hell they're called. But you use these points at the end of a level. You have to be back at the menu though. You can't do it in mid run. You can leave the game and you can pick back up where you were. But these points you use these points to unlock the cards, and then once you complete like a full line of these cards, then another one unlocks, and you have three different options, but they do get more expensive. And that's for like more
You
cosmetic stuff, and like there's a card
okay?
where if you get hit, you can move faster, like 20% faster for 3 seconds. There's another one where you carry more ammo, but your stamina is a little bit reduced. One where if you go down, you get another like chance to get revived, because in this one in the beta you could go down like 2 or 3 times I think, and then you would die completely. But in
Okay, so that's very similar to Left
yeah,
4 Dead,
there's
where
like
I'm pretty sure you could do that in Left 4 Dead. I know that you'd go through like phases where you right when you're about to die is like when it does the black and white phase where that's like your last chance.
Mhm. No, yeah, I mean it's made by the same people, so they did
Do you
take a
think
bunch of inspiration from the originals.
I was gonna say, the reason I had brought up the card system in the first place was because I was thinking that they might be using this as a microtransactions kind
Oh,
of ring, or
I don't.
do you think that's a possibility?
From what I'm seeing right now, it doesn't look like they're headed that way.
Okay,
These cards
okay,
are mostly just to keep you playing. Uh,
that makes sense, I guess.
I mean, it's sort of like a battle pass in some sort of way, but not really, because you do get some advantages, but
I was afraid
you
that,
don't have to like pay for them like with actual money.
yeah, I was just wondering if that was even a thing because I was like, how does that even? I don't put two and two together when it comes to that. Why do they think that a card system would be good for an FPS multiplayer thing?
I really don't know, man. Don't put me on the spot here. I'm not a dev.
Well, it's just good. It's
But it's
more of a
very
rhetorical question.
it's interesting. No, I see what they're trying to do, because they have mostly put their efforts into the card system. They put a lot of effort into that, and
Would
it
you
shows.
say is that a negative effect in terms of gameplay? Do you think they put too much time into the card system or not so much?
Mm,
Like
I've,
overall gameplay is suffering because of the card system is what I'm asking.
it's not suffering, but I did. There's some things that I would have wished that they would have like put more not effort. I'm not saying that the game's not bad. It's also, I don't know. It's very early stages, like not even early stages, very
Is there
early hours
no is it lacking personality? Is that what you're trying to say?
in some sort of way. Because I mean, if you look back to Left 4 Dead 2, There's the tank, the witch, and all that stuff.
The
And
smoker, the hunter, all that good
yeah,
stuff.
in this one, there's the big one, the tall one, which is the really big guy with a giant hand. Um,
I've heard that complaint. A lot of people on beta were saying that they didn't have much personality. You could distinguish them, but I remember in Left 4 Dead 2, specifically, you'd have a male boomer and a female boomer on certain stages. They had clothing so you could easily recognize them. I don't even know if these guys have like specific clothing or something like that that they wear. You don't really see reminiscences of their previous like
yeah, what they
alive
were.
selves,
Yeah, no,
what they were.
these special enemies, they look the same. From what I the couple hours that I've played, the zombies themselves, the infected, whatever they call them, they're there is variety. I've seen like doctors and stuff running at me while I shoot their head off. Not
I'm only
shoot.
being I don't want people to assume that I'm just being critical of the game because I do want to just because I had a bad experience with it on beta. I mean, that's dumb. I want it to do well because I've been looking for another Left 4 Dead game. I've played Left 4 Dead so many. I probably have like 200 hours if I include Steam and like old console release when it first came out. I have a bunch of hours in this game. I wanted a game similar to that wasn't Deep Rock Galactic. Even though I love Deep Rock Galactic, I wanted a Left 4 Dead, not bugs but zombies. Even though the market has sort of been oversaturated with zombies in a way, I still enjoy the genre. But yeah, that's just my personal take. I want to like it, but so far I was kind of iffy on the card system, mostly because I didn't get to experience it. So maybe if I got to experience it, I'd appreciate it a little bit more. And the zombies are just like a little bit dry, but maybe like you said, they'll fix it later on down the line. It just
Yeah,
came out.
yeah. Like I said, it just came out, and I do, like I said, I hope to see more variety. Cause like I said, back to where I was explaining, there's the tall one. I think that's what it's called. The guy
The
with the
tall one,
giant. Yeah,
that is not what it's called.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Is it seriously?
It's
Wait, I
like
need to look this
it's
up.
like a zombie with like a giant hand, and he kind of just like pimp slaps you with it and all that shit.
So it's Charger basically, but a little bit different.
It doesn't really. It sort of like hobbles at you fast sometimes. There's
Let
a what's
me see.
essentially a boomer. Um, there's a spitter, and
Oh, apparently they're called the Ridden.
ridden. Right, I was about to say they're not really called zombies. They're like called something else.
That's the bit. There's one called the Breaker, which looks like it jumps around, sort of like the Hunter, but it creates shockwaves. The Bruiser. Oh, it literally. You're right. It is called Tall Boy.
Yeah, something like that. Tall boy.
The It looks like the Boomer variant is called a Exploder, a Wretch, Reeker. It's
Reeker.
weird.
That's what it's called, right?
There's a Hag. There's the Stalker,
I haven't
Stinger,
the stinger. I remember seeing that one.
the Ogre, the
Ogre,
the Sleeper, the Snitch.
the snitch. I haven't run
The
into that one yet.
Snitch. I'm kind of like skimming over this because I still want to experience the game kind of like naked, but
Uh,
I get the gist.
well, whatever enemies that you named out, I'll put them on the screen.
All right. I just went to the first link on Google. I just looked up special effect and infected. Blah.
Oh,
Man, I already forgot the name. What is it called?
tall boy.
No, no, no. The overall name for the
Oh,
people.
ridden.
The Ridden. That's it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
riddlers.
Why did they Ridden?
Ridden.
What does that mean?
I want to get ridden of him. I don't know.
No.
They probably thought it was clever.
I don't see. I can't. I can't see it. Well, right now it sounds like someone's being carried by something else or something. They're riding
Ridden.
something. I don't know.
Ridden. Ridden? Nah, that's a bit of a stretch now.
No, ridden as in
Ridden.
past
Oh,
tense.
like ridden. Never mind. I'm
No, it's
picking up
alright.
what you're putting down.
Well, I was thinking that ridden because it's riding off the coattails of Left 4 Dead 2. Huh?
Yeah.
All right, next topic. I in terms of video games, I have been playing. One second. This is how much
That's
I love
a
this game. I gotta
that's
look it
1
up.
second. I've heard such good things about this game
No,
actually.
no,
It
no,
doesn't
not
take
that. That's
place in 1 second. I've heard of 12 minutes.
no. There it is. Sorry. I do like the game. Trust me. It's just a bit of a mouthful, so I couldn't remember what it was called. It's called Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night, which actually I didn't notice. But I didn't know this. Bloodstained is a sequel. Apparently, there was another Bloodstained because I was a little confused. The game started, and I was like, "Oh, these characters are late and they knew each other." I was like, "Okay, this is a little bit weird." But yeah, Bloodstained. It's what is it called? Metroidvania. So this is actually my first installment of a Metroidvania kind of type game. But so
Ooh,
far, I'm
that
enjoying
looks
it.
nice.
I haven't. I don't. I think this is my first one. I remember playing the first Castlevania for a little bit when I was like little, but I don't count that. Maybe at one point I played a Mega Man game. That's sort of like Metroidvania. But yeah, ever since the Castlevania Advance Collection came out, I've just been like on a kick. So
Oh, those
I'm gonna
are.
do.
I mean, what kicked it off even more? You told me previously was the anime on Netflix.
Oh, Castlevania.
Yeah.
Did you finish all the seasons?
No, I should.
No, that's so good.
I
It's
know.
so good,
My watch list is so stupid right now.
dude. I'm pretty hyped. It kind of sets itself for like another season, perhaps. That's on Netflix, of course. I feel
Ooh.
like they will do it. They like to burn things to the ground.
I don't know. I feel like Netflix really is onto something. They should make a video game series out of it, to be honest.
uh, you never know. They probably have to give the. I don't know who owns the rights right now. I'm not too sure. I just know they haven't done much with it as of late. But anyway, Bloodstained. It's like a
Or
it's a
like
Metroidvania
Cum
game.
Stain. Got him.
It was actually a Kickstarter. They were not gonna make it originally. I'm pretty sure they didn't. They wanted to make more, but I believe the creator of the game lost the rights to Castlevania or something like that. I'm pretty sure don't quote me on this. But anyway, it was one of the first like games besides like Shovel Knight that I heard got kickstarted and actually was successful. So basically, if you like Metroidvania type games, I feel like you'll enjoy this. And if you've never played a Metroidvania type game, I'd give it a gander because I believe it's only
Really?
$30. It's not
Hmm.
even that expensive. So wait for a sale.
I'll wait for a
It'll probably
sale.
be
I've
like,
never experienced a
oh,
Metroidvania
it's
type
four.
game.
Okay, it's $40. There is the soundtrack is really good and there is some DLC, but I just wait on it. That's what I did. I just got it on sale. I think I got it like in total $30. That's what I was thinking of, but it's
Ooh,
really fun.
nice. They'll probably go on sale probably around Halloween or some shit.
It's really hard to. I know we went in depth with Back for Blood because I feel like you can talk a lot about that game, but with this one, it's sort of like if you haven't played Metroidvania stuff, it's a little bit hard to explain. I guess the best way I could explain it is you're like going through a maze and you will have to backtrack and stuff like that, but you learn these paths after a while, and there is like fast travel and stuff, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's sort of Dark Souls rules where if you die, it's better to just restart from your previous save. You lose all your XP and stuff like that. But unlike Dark Souls, you can't get your XP back. You just start back from where you saved last. It's old rules basically.
Hmm.
It's Castlevania
Gotcha.
rules, but basically you're going through a maze and you'll come across like walls that you have to go through and you don't have the key to you don't have a power to get through this one, but you have to keep exploring, and then it's like, oh, I got this power to pick up heavy objects and stuff. It's like, oh, I remember I can use that later on because I defeated this boss. And it's sort of like Mega Man where you defeat enemies and you can get their essence and you can use their powers. There's so many powers in this game, it's insane. I feel like there's like over 200 different powers. It's
That's
crazy.
wow. That is a lot actually.
Plus, you can level them up and make them better by you can collect the same shards and kind of grind, and
Mm-hmm.
that'll increase the rank, I believe. And then there's also a crafting system and material system where you can just level it up and stuff like that. But just for an example, there's like if you kill a bat enemy, there's a chance for it to drop the shard, and you can summon a bat. And then if you level that up further, it summons 2 bats and then 3 bats and then like 5 bats,
Like
and they all do a
just
crap ton of damage.
a leveled up version of the power you're using. Gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much.
So when you said 200, is this like counting the level ups, or is this like entirely different? Like,
I think individually, there's like a bunch of different enemies.
dang,
This was a Kickstarter game. It's crazy.
you
The
could feel the love in
not to
it.
not to mention it's not because I like JoJo or anything, but there's a bunch of references in it because the creator is like a huge JoJo fan.
Ooh,
There's literally a vampire in the game, and he controls the library and he like rents out books for you and stuff like that. But his name is OD. And what's that backwards?
Oreo.
Yep, that's the one. Well, I kind of thought about it. I was like, well, if you ever played a Castlevania game, you know that I don't believe it started with Symphony of the Night for PlayStation, but there was a point where you could play as Alucard. Basically, Alucard spelled backwards is Dracula, and and OD spelled backwards is Dio. So it was just like it's sort of like 2 references in one.
Ooh.
And a little spoiler for people who you may want to skip this, but if you beat, there's a chance. What is it? There's a way to do it. I haven't done it yet, but there's a way to fight OD, and if you beat him, you get a time stop ability.
That's really, yeah, that's
It's
really
really
on the
fucking
nose.
cool. It's really, really cool. Not to mention, this is just basic stuff. If you hold up on your control stick, you gotta play with the control stick. Um, your character does poses. Speaking of your character, she has like full customization. Like later on, you meet a hairdresser person, and you can unlock different hairstyles throughout the game by defeating enemies. And you can also dye your hair and your clothing different stuff, so it's very customizable. It's pretty cool. I give it a recommendation. So that was my blood
Bloodstained,
stained
bloodstained.
recommendation.
Nice, nice. What
Ritual of the Night. I haven't played any other ones, but this one's really good.
Rhythm of the Night?
Nope, that's probably a different game. It's
That's a reference to a song. Speaking of songs, nice segue. Haha, pat on the back.
I guess
Uh,
you're gonna go because I did.
oh,
Go
really?
ahead.
Okay, passing the mic to me then.
Yeah, I can trade it up.
Um, I didn't really plan. I mean, you at least gave it some thought, but I'm really just coming up with these on the spot, like Back
I
for
gave you
Blood.
days. I gave you a head
You gave
start.
yes, you gave me a day, but I was like, that's not as fun. I like to be on the spot.
You're just gonna say a song that you've been listening to recently,
Not a
or an
song, an
album?
album, an album.
Oh, an album. Okay, well, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So this album that I've recently I've heard a song or two, literally like 2 years ago from this band. They're called The Gentlemen. You may have heard of them.
Oh yeah, Moist Critical's.
Yep, little
Yep,
Moist Critical,
I
Mr.
have
Twitch
heard of this
streamer.
band.
I've
I've heard of
I've
it.
heard of 2019 guy, like a couple years back, and it's literally, you know, being a 2019 guy being cucked and everything. Essentially, what a 2019 guy was back then.
Pretty much.
And and not too recently, I was like, I recently heard that they released their album. You know what? I'll give it a listen. And I was expecting most of the album to just be, very memey, very, not to take any of it seriously, and you know, and I dug the beat of 2019 guy, the instrumentals and all that stuff, but I was blown away. Minus a song. It's not that I didn't like it, like I hated it. It's just just didn't rub the right way with me.
All right.
But the rest of the album, from the beginning to most of the middle and the end as well. Oh, all of it. Dug it. It's on the if you listen to this album, I think the name of the album is called "The Evolution of Tears."
That is the most.
It's the
That
most
is.
edgiest.
Yeah. Not to mention the band is called Gentleman.
The Gentleman.
The
Evolution of
Gentleman.
Tears.
Is it singular? Is it gentleman or gentlemen?
I think it's called the Gentleman because it consists of
Okay.
two people.
I don't want to confuse people.
Literally just
So
look
I
up.
definitely know that they're quite something if they name this. Oh my.
The name of the album. But listen, what you're expecting is like some lovey-dovey, like, oh, woe is me. No, they go. I want to say more along the lines of like metal on their genres of songs.
Really?
Yes.
It's not like screamo metal though. It's just hard.
It's not screamo metal. It's not like you can't even understand, and most of it is like, oh, go give it a listen, please. Check it out. Like I said, the first song, literally the opening track is called "Your Boyfriend Doesn't Scare Me." But the instrumentals, the beat, and when it goes hard, it goes hard.
I don't know why, but when you said your boyfriend doesn't scare me, I thought of like that phrase, my wife's boyfriend. I'll take it.
Then it goes, yeah, and then they remastered 2019 guy, which was the OG. There's like a bunch of others. There's this one interlude, like it's got a beat, but it's mostly just like a poem, like reading it out. And it's a pretty funny story. It's about some woman that never ages, and she's like turns 90, and then she gives birth, but she gives birth to a 20-year-old version of herself, and then the cycle continues. It's
fuck?
It's
This is weird.
I love it.
Very weird.
I love this weird stuff. And then
that sounds like, oh my god, that sounds like a scary stories to tell in the dark kind of thing.
Well,
It's odd.
No, literally, what made me laugh immediately at the beginning of the track is like, what you're about to hear is a totally true story that I made up.
Well, if you put it that way.
Exactly. I already knew what I was in for when I heard that. And then it gets very, like, after leaving all of that, the last track, "Here's to Us," it's a very acoustic, very like, it gets, if you've ever been in like a relationship or whatever.
Nope, not me. Can't relate. Sorry. Let's skip to the next one.
It's I also recommend the last song. It's called
I do like me some acoustic though.
"Here's to Us." It's a very good ending track. Like I said, I can't recommend them enough. I love this album.
So it's the Gentlemen, plural.
The Gentlemen.
The album is called
"The Evolution of Tears."
Okay.
I know it sounds awful.
My brain
it's
deleted it. It's so bad.
It sounds like, wow, let me never listen to this. This sounds extremely edgy and sorrowful, and it sounds like a middle school band that's finally thinks that they're epic. No, but this is, I just have to give so much credit to the instrumentals overall. That's anything that I admire a lot. Instrumentals are like, oh, nut.
These feel free to like say I don't know if you don't know, but I was gonna say it seems like the people who are in this band are sort of amateurs, or at least like they might have had experience, but not in this sort of like.
One of them, all right. So one of them, not Moist Critical, aka Charlie. I'm pretty sure he has like a background in like mostly guitar stuff, but singing and stuff, I don't think. I'm talking out of my ass here. You could totally correct me on this. But I know the other guy. I don't know his name. But he actually does have a like background, like actual music like background. And I guess with the team up that they did with the first music video with 2019 guy, I remember seeing it back then, and then he did like a video explaining what that was, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm just testing something out with this musical guy, and we'll see if it works." And,
musical guitar man
that has pretty good vocals, and don't get me wrong, Charlie has some pretty good vocals too in some tracks.
It's odd because his voice is so like.
His voice is very monotone.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't think he had much expression. unless he's just hamming it up. I thought that was his normal like voice.
I'm pretty sure that's just his normal voice. Some people just speak,
It's
monotonely.
just odd.
Yeah, I wish I could do that.
Oh,
I really do.
I do in the shower.
You speak in the shower?
Yeah, I speak in the shower.
All right.
You know what's that? This is true, by the way. This is 1000% true. I think I every day after like in high school,
It's
maybe
every
even a
day,
little bit
bro.
in middle school, is every day. Anyway, bro, uh, every day besides like band, except for high school band, I probably spoke maybe like 10 words every day, like legit. I just would not talk to anyone because I was so I was so like I don't even know like anxious.
Antisocial?
Yeah, I'd say antisocial. I'd say anxious and stressed just because like I don't know.
The
Half the
giving an
people,
impression on like, having to like just, stand out in some way, I guess. That's
I
my
guess
experience.
so.
That's sort of my experience. I sorry to like take over, but
Oh no, it's fine.
I can sort of relate because I really wasn't the most outgoing person either back in high school. I was a very kept to myself, keep my head down. What sort of in some way, I guess not really, helped me out was marching band for me. I was in a marching band.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
were also in marching band.
True.
And I at least, got to talk to some people in marching band, but that I feel that should have helped with like the progression towards like, hey, maybe not just marching band, but in these classes as well. No.
I feel
I
like
would shut off during like normal classes and stuff, math, PE, except for band. All of a sudden I became very talkative because, I don't know. I guess in some way too. I'm gonna explain this later as well. So I'm getting way too ahead of myself. But actually, oh fuck it. I'll just explain it now. Music, I always found comfort, and I imagine a good amount of people do. I find a huge amount of
yeah,
comfort in music.
that's a pretty universal idea.
So that's why I went to band and became a lot more talkative. Then marching band helped me with that a lot. But as soon as there was like no music involved or any of that whatsoever, boom,
Marching band
silent.
and regular band, like I went from knowing no one to knowing like pretty much like everyone in my class sometimes. Like there'd be a bunch of band kids in my class, so I didn't feel as bad. But at the same time, it was just like high school was such a weird thing. I didn't start off on a good foot either because like in first grade, like this I don't think I've ever told anyone this, but might as well. It doesn't matter anymore, but back in like first grade, even maybe even kindergarten or something like that. Um, my teachers thought I was a bit autistic
Mm-hmm.
or something like that because I wouldn't talk. I wouldn't talk to anyone or
Right.
something like that. But I was like, that doesn't sound like autism. That just sounds like a kid being nervous because he's at
Mm-hmm.
school and he's around. I'm an only child too, so like I was so used to talking to only my family members and not talking to anyone else. It was just a weird time. But I'm going off topic here. But
No, no, that's the point, man. Go off topic.
well, I was gonna say, um, basically I get held back in first grade because they thought I needed more social interaction. I was like, what? I did all right in first grade. I did all right in first grade too, in terms of grades. Not like that even matters. And I got subjects and stuff. I just wouldn't talk too much. So they held me back a year, and then ever since then, I always felt
Mhm.
like I didn't I didn't look down on people. Like you would think in a person in my situation kind of look down on the class because I'm like a year older than them. So I'm like, oh, I'm above this and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But no, that's not what I thought. I thought that like I can't relate to anyone anymore. Like the people
Because you're a year
above where I
behind.
should be,
Mhm.
yeah, the people where I should be are ahead of me, and the people that are in my class I can't relate to because they're not the same age as me, which sounds dumb when I thought
Mhm.
about it like later on. Is like, well, they're still people.
Yeah,
Just
they're.
because they're not the
Mhm.
same like age as me, it doesn't mean anything. But I was just like, and it just kept on going. It kept on translating. I slowly kept on just like digging myself into the social this social like dependency. I didn't, or sorry, independency. My bad. I just didn't talk to people at all. I'd only talk to my friends that happened to be like my my friends were just like, I guess, people who approached me first. But most of the time, when someone doesn't talk in class, they think there's something wrong with you and they don't approach and stuff like
They
that.
don't approach you. They think you're weird. The outcast.
Especially in middle school. Holy shit. I kind of got bullied for that because I wouldn't stand up for myself, but
Oh, really?
it turned
Man,
out fine.
the kids are fucking assholes.
Well, in middle school especially, because they're kind of realizing that they can be assholes. It's
Yeah, no,
I don't know what happens in middle. It's like there's a switch that flips on during summer from fifth grade to sixth grade. Everyone just has an asshole switch that turns on. It's not everyone. I'm being a little bit.
It's
That's
a
what I remember.
Yeah, that's a good. I can relate to that as well. Where all of a sudden, because I think for a year or something like that, I too like I noticed that people there was two different types of people. It was either like the ones who talked, the ones who didn't.
That's for yeah. That's
And I was like, I don't want to be, because I looked at the kids, the kids that will always be by themselves, and they're like eating lunch by themselves or whatever, and in their own corner, and I was like, bro, that's cringe. I don't want to be that. So I was like, let me try to be outspoken. Let me try to be more loud. I tried it for a year, and I could say that was like the most exhausting year I had because
yeah.
most of the time, I don't know. I guess you just have to like fake your emotions and stuff like that. Be like, I don't know. It's a very. I imagine there's like a good like social study on this, like
Oh,
a
for sure.
psychiatric study. But
Child studies is actually the most like well informed and most studied like study out there. It's they've got a lot of stuff on child studies and mental health and in children and stuff. It's like one of the most top fields out there apparently. But yeah, that's just how it was. And it like kept on dragging out into middle school. I found my stride a little bit later on in high school because I just like after a while you just don't give a fuck anymore.
no,
You're
I
just like
know. Yeah,
it's like I'd rather be by myself. Fuck this.
yeah. Around like
I'm
sophomore
listening to some
year,
Green Day on the bus,
Green
man.
Day. That's the
Some
American idiot.
Metallica, man.
Hmm.
You
I
just
don't
don't get it,
care.
man. I'm in
uh.
marching band. No,
Oh my god.
just after a while, I
No.
kind of, I just like whenever I got on the bus, I'd just read my book or something like that, or I had to listen to music and stuff.
No.
I really wouldn't care after a while
No.
because
Yeah.
I most of my social interactions at that point would be band, so I got my fill. I'm sort of a weird, I'm a weird like hybrid of introvert and extrovert where I'm definitely introverted around people I don't know. Like I'm like super drained, but when it's people that I do know, I tend to be like pretty dang loud and I feel like addicted being around friends and stuff because it's I don't know.
Because I don't
It
know.
feels like it feels like I'm popping off. It's like my bottle is like emptying when I'm around friends.
Well, I can sort of relate, and to the point where I got to know you even better, even through this, is that you would not not outrightly calling you a dick or nothing, but you'd be like, playfully just fucking around, and then I'd playfully fuck around too, and then my bad. I'm okay. But no, yeah, I relate to that way because primarily with friends too. It's not that I'm being a dick to be a dick, but it's just like I'm fucking around. Um, as well as like within our little like group circle, I guess, or little friend group. Whenever I have these little friend groups, I tend to be very like out there,
I
and
noticed.
let's not even mention that's not even mentioning like the addition of alcohol or anything.
God, that
You
one.
get any alcohol in me, and I'm in a friend group, I'm a extrovert to all hell.
No, honestly, not much changes when I drink alcohol. I just get tired. I'll be honest.
I become very, very outspoken. But when it's just me, and I'm in a setting that I really don't know, I am very quiet. very introverted. I keep to myself. I'll try to put a little bit of alcohol in me, and that just makes me even more anxious, which is not a good combo. So, yeah. But this is why I function better. This is why I guess I really dug the idea when you came up to me with this idea of this, hey, let's, try something else. Let's try a
Yeah.
podcast. So within like this personal setting of just, just me and you and whoever watches this in the comments or whatever, if you can like relate. I don't know. I am not wording this correctly. I feel like I can be myself. There we go.
Yeah. I'm trying to well it's a weird feeling because I'm not a person who would put themselves out there. Obviously, I'm an introvert. I don't want to put myself out there, but I've been trying to get better. I've been trying to do a lot of self-improvement stuff as of late. I've just been like I did take a couple art classes in high school, but that was just like I kind of played I can't really I can't express it. I was so introverted in art that I didn't want to do my own art. I just kind of went by the numbers just to learn the basics. But yeah, I've been doing a little bit of art stuff as of late, just here and there, maybe an hour a day, just to improve a little bit. But then I was like, I want to do it a little bit on the other side of the spectrum to where I don't talk to people at all. I don't even talk to people at work. I talk to
Really?
my parents at work half the time, and that's about it. I
Gotcha.
don't.
Well,
I keep my head down and do my work.
Well, at least do you like if they say like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" Or
Yeah,
just say,
I
"Hey."
answer with
Do you
some
say,
basic stuff.
yeah, like banter? Yeah, I was about to say because
Literally,
I
no, it's not even. It's not even banter. They just like, "Hello," and they're, "How are you?" And I was like, "I'm good. How are you?" And that's literally all I say every day. I
I
keep walking.
I can sort of relate. I mean, because primarily work most of the time. In some cases, it's just work acquaintances or coworkers. That's the word. Fuck. But most of the time it's just, "Hey, how's it going? Doing good. What about you? All right." That's it. That's usually like the end of it. But uh, and I will say that that's my relationship mostly with like any coworkers that I know. But there is like I don't know. I've tried to get better at that myself. I like try to like go with more conversations or try make plans or something at least. But I mean, usually because you like I don't know. I don't know if you get this, but like you tend to see like how I don't know, as being an introvert myself, I keep to myself on like settings that I didn't know when I first started working. I didn't know anyone. And I just kept to myself and really, I really blended in, but I like kept to myself and didn't say anything. And the reason I don't know, my workplace it's like very like how do you say
No
it?
nonsense. Is it strict or is it like?
No, it's not that no nonsense. It's things tends to get like over dramatized or whatever, and
Oh, really?
yes, and from like
Wow.
being out there, just being like on the low when I first started, I was like, all right, this is what I'm in for. This is what I'm gonna keep to myself, and I'm just keeping my cards really close to me because I do not want to be
Uh,
involved in any of this.
keep your hand on your holster yet.
Hmm.
I feel that. That's
And
pretty. That's how band was too. Like in the low brass section, especially. It's just like, especially when I was a freshman. For some reason, there's like an unspoken rule that if you're a freshman, everyone is going to be an asshole to you.
yeah,
For
for
some
some
reason,
reason,
I don't know what it is. I even like did it later on. Like when I was a junior, I would do that to people for no reason.
it's just
I was
kind of
like,
a
what
thing
the
that's in.
fuck?
It's kind of something. It's like something that's ingrained to you because they're like, oh, it's freshman. You're like the new guys.
A
Oh,
new
you're gonna
beat.
ha
New
ha
beat.
new meat. But
New beat. Let's go. No, it's just like that's just how it is. Well, okay. At work, it's different for me at work because everyone is like 30 years older than me,
oh
so
no,
I'm the youngest person
no,
there.
at work I have like servers that are in their like 20s and 30s, and most of them are like early
Exactly.
20s. So there's gonna
Good
be a
diversity.
yes. Yeah,
Oh, that also means there's a lot of friction too at work. It's pretty chill where I go, I guess, but it's just deadlines, and that's
but I
about
mean,
it at work.
what I tend to do mostly at my job, and it's not the greatest job, but it's also, not the worst either, because I literally what I do as soon as I get to my job, I literally put on an earphone, blast music. That's me.
That's pretty much me too. I have my
That is
earbud
me.
in.
But the
If
thing,
someone comes up and asks me something, I'll answer, and then I'll put my earbud back
exactly.
in.
No,
And
but this is where coming back to like the beginning, what the statement that I said. I always find comfort in music. I don't know. This is
yeah, well,
always.
because when you choose, especially when Spotify or something, when you make a playlist, not sponsored yet, until
Yes.
we get on Spotify,
Haha.
perhaps.
Perhaps.
But Spotify, you literally playlists are made for you. You make your own music. So I feel like you would find comfort in music that you choose and you like. So I don't know, especially like for me, I like ballads and intricate stuff sometimes, but I also like just kind of chill stuff too. I'm pretty much, you've seen my playlist. It's like all over it's literally all over the spectrum.
No, yeah,
But it's just like if it's a bop, it's a bop.
that's where
That's
I
how
get
I
my inspiration from like watching your playlist. Hence why I've tried to catch up to your numbers and hours and how long it is.
I've removed some because I don't like them anymore. But,
Yeah,
my chain,
your playlist is called Ultimate Playlist, and it has like 69 nice
yeah, it's
hours.
very. I wish I have my ultimate playlist is on a different account because I did it with my Yahoo account back when I was like. But basically, one day I'll go through all those songs and add it manually because I want to change the fucking playlist name so bad. I want to call it the
Ultimate.
ADHD playlist because
Mine's
it's literally all over the place.
mine's is called Human Music, and I'm
Human music.
and I'm really close. I'm at 65 hours.
Holy shit.
But I created this playlist at the end of last year, like December of 2020. And this is me now. I've added a ton of music. And it's very all over the place. 1 second I'm listening to Pink Guy, uh, The Gentleman, or Post Malone, and then the next second I'm listening to like fucking Sicko Mode or some shit. My playlist.
I like how you named artists before and then you're just like sicko mode. There is no Travis
There is
Scott.
no, he doesn't exist. It's just Sicko Mode.
Mine is late. Yeah, mine is late from Beastie Boys to
Yeah.
like in Old Dirty Bastard and stuff like
Yeah, I have
that.
like songs that I just described, and then all of a sudden I'll go back to like AC/DC or Van Halen. I
Right.
love my
Well,
playlist.
I don't know when you started your playlist, but I started mine back when
Literally just said it.
Spotify first came around, like back in 2011, 2010.
Really?
That's why my playlist is so long. I'd add a song maybe every like once a week. I took a break for like maybe 2 years back when Facebook uh integrated into Spotify, and I think Spotify actually like separated themselves from Facebook again. I don't think they're owned by Facebook anymore. But
No, you're
yeah,
not.
I hope they're not. They make
No.
enough money to not be.
No,
But yeah,
yeah, but well, if what you just said, you made yours in 2011. I literally stated I made Human Music playlist December of last year,
that's
2020.
what I'm saying. You've been on the grind every day. You're adding a song. Every hour you're adding
I'm
a song.
literally I love music, man. Like I'm literally open to any music except for, and I'm not saying this is a bias or that I absolutely spit on and despise and look down upon these people, but people that enjoy country music.
I agree with that, but I'm gonna be more specific with that if I can.
Okay.
I hate country stadium music where it's that fake new shit, that fake
Actually,
country new
yes.
shit.
I a
It sounds
hundred
so bad.
I 100% agree. I don't like it. I
If
I
it's country
respect
rock, it's fucking great. I
exactly.
love Leonard Skinner.
I respect the old stuff. I do not like any
Yeah,
of the new stuff.
I like the classic country rock kind of things,
Hmm.
or even just like not even country rock, but just more country, sort of like Willie Nelson and all those guys.
Well, I used to a person that I
Johnny
really fuck
Cash.
exactly.
I had to think about Johnny
A
Cash.
person that I really fuck with is Johnny Cash. His
I love
old
Johnny
school
Cash.
style
Yeah.
stuff. And I don't know, back then my mentality, especially back in high school, was like, ew, country music. Gross.
I used
Completely.
to think I used to not like rap or country music back in middle school, but then I got like I still I like more I like hip hop more than rap, I'll say. I prefer a little bit of hip hop more than rap, especially the old school stuff.
Gotcha. I'm more of like, yeah, hip hop, pop, um,
R&B is good.
R&B, psychedelic stuff sometimes. Metal, because of Doom,
Little
2016 and Doom Eternal.
little EDM in there.
A little bit of EDM.
Actually, the most EDM I listen to is Oliver Tree, and that's about it for
Would
the
you
most part.
wait? You consider that EDM?
I would say
Hmm.
most of the songs EDM in terms of like definitely the beat and the backtracks. I'd say are EDM. In terms of Oliver, his sort of sound is like
I feel
it's
like
not
his
quite rap, but it's not quite hip hop. It's like something in between to me, where the backtrack is like EDM sometimes.
some I don't know.
Very yeah, he has got a
It's a mix,
mixed
but I can't really
imagery.
like put it down either. Like what exactly his genre is.
Well, it's sort of like
Alternative?
I guess so. Well, I was gonna say it's sort of like Joji's Nectar, where if you go to each song, it's sort of something different. It's a sort of take on different things. Like Run sounds way different than fucking what is it? Nitrous.
Oh, for sure.
There's just like two
Uh,
different spectrums.
that album's so good too. But I'll
And
get
Like
that
You
in the
Do is
future.
like way different than Your Man and stuff like
Hmm.
that. It's just like it's such a mixed bag of stuff, but everything on there for the most part is really good. And I was gonna talk that about that album, but maybe I'll talk about it next time.
Yeah, that's
I
what
guess we'll segue back into the music. We went off on a tangent,
I.
but my album slash song, because it's the same thing basically, is 2112 by Rush from
Ooh,
Canada.
that's a good one.
And I've been listening to that a lot, not just this week because of we were planning to do the podcast and talk about this stuff, but I've been listening to this stuff for a while now. It came about like in a weird it was a weird set of circumstances. I've been into my mom likes Rush a lot, but I'd always like heard that 2112 was a really good album, but I liked Rush. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna listen to 2112. I got I got a game and I can't remember what it was. It was by
Minecraft.
it was Minecraft. No, what the crap was it? Whatever. I got a game. I was just playing with it, playing in it. Sorry, not playing with it. I guess it would be playing with it. I guess, but
I mean, you are technically playing with the console.
it was just like it was a pretty chill game. So I was just listening to the whole album, and the first song is actually the longest song, where it's like an album. It's like an album within a song, basically. So in the album 2112, there's a song called 2112, which is what the album is basically about. And it is literally, it has like, let me see, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven changes in it. In that one song, it's a 20-minute song, 20 minutes and 34 seconds. There's literally an overture, and then it goes into a different song, and then it goes into discovery, presentation, oracle, the dream, soliloquy, and then the grand finale. And I don't know, have you ever listened to 2112?
I've only listened to like a song, but that was like a long time ago. I haven't really
Okay, so
checked out the full album, but I've heard, like I said, I've heard nothing but good things about it though.
yeah, I think the whole album is fantastic.
I need to
I'll be
check it
honest.
out. Yeah.
Please do. I'll check out Gentleman, you check out 2112, but please check out the song 2112. It's so good. It's just got like it's literally a story. It's like let me find it. The meaning. The whole idea is I'm reading this off Google, so don't at me. In the year 2062, a galaxy-wide war results in the union of all planets under the rule of the Red Star of the Solar Federation, which is on the cover art of the album.
Uh,
Wait, let me see if I can find it.
I'll
It's
put
called
it
the
on
Solar
screen.
Federation. And
Yeah.
it's like it's pretty fucking metal. Here, I sent it to you. It's weirdly metal. But that's the Solar Federation like flag. I just
Oh
sent it
wow.
to you.
Yeah, I see it.
Anyway, so everyone's like united from a war in the year 2062. Cyberpunk music kicks in though. Uh, and then by 2112, the world is controlled by the Solar Federation, but under the guise of like priests. And that's like what the third song is, I believe, on the 2112 song. The third section, if, I guess I could call it. It's called the Temple, the Priests of the Temples of Syrinx. It's a mouthful, but basically, the whole song is basically going through a whole story where it goes into these priests and they determine the content of all like reading matter, songs and pictures and every like facet of life. It's all censored basically. It's just like it's sort of like Rush is trying to like warn people of what the future could become and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna spoil the whole song, but later on there's like a person who finds a guitar like abandoned and stuff from the old world because it's 2112 now. And basically how the world system worked was it's sort of like how it would work in real life where people who survived the war pretty much just left the solar system and they left like the injured and poor people back on Earth.
Damn.
And then the Solar Federation took control of everyone, and that's just the furthest I can go into. But basically, someone finds a guitar and then he like brings it back to the priest because he's brainwashed. He's like, "Oh, this is so cool." It's like it's a guitar, and they're basically like chastising him because it's the old world relic and stuff like that. And they're like, "We don't need that," and then they like banish him for the most part, and then he just has like an existential crisis where he just like doesn't know what life is anymore. And so really, I highly recommend that song.
Oh, for sure.
2112 by Rush.
It sounds. It sounds like a story in general, like what you everything.
Yeah, it's a
I mean,
21-minute story.
it is a story. It doesn't sound like it is.
If we got time, we can listen to it, but
Sure, let's play right now.
no, after the podcast. Anyone who's listening, I highly recommend. If you don't even know who Rush is, just listen to it because you might like the rest of the stuff. But I guess I could talk about the album too, since I brought that up. It's literally called 2112.
Oh yeah, if you wanna basically if you wanna talk about the song, talk about the song. But if it's the album, talk about the whole album.
Well, the whole album is anyway.
I mean, if you wanna go through like nitpick some of the songs, like which ones stood out to you in general through the
They're
whole
all pretty
album.
good, but the one that stood out is 2112 in the album 2112. Obviously, there's a lot of albums that are named after the songs within them, but sometimes the songs aren't that
Uh,
good. But this time it's really good.
oh yeah, I feel like that's like a thing though because they like
It happens.
most
Sometimes
of
it's
the
like,
no most of the albums I've heard that are named after. There's like the one track that's
yeah,
named off of it.
there's a song named after it.
A pretty good percentage of the albums that I've listened to that start off with the album or the name
I mean,
is
why not? You got a good name,
really
might as
good.
well make the album. Well, the weird thing, it's not weird, but I guess it's because you can't like see which song is the favorite for everyone, overall. There's no like there's no beta for albums. But I was gonna say half the time the album songs and stuff, the song that the album's named after isn't even good half the time. It's to everyone, it's just kind of meh. And then you'll get a Diamond in the Rough song that's like, why did they name the album that? I was like, well, they couldn't see in the future, obviously. But I digress. So, of the songs on the album, there's 2112, which has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different sections in it. The album within a song. And then the second official song is called A Passage to Bangkok, where it's just them traveling around the world, basically, in a train.
Ooh.
The third song's The Twilight Zone, which is actually not really about the the
Bro,
song
why
the
even make
show.
the Twilight Zone, man? Shake my head.
Lessons. Gotta have a. That's a good song. And then you gotta have like sort of a sad song, which is called Tears. And then a really good song on there is called Something for Nothing,
Money
which
for nothing.
basically like you have to. Yeah, no, that's a good song too.
That's a good
But
song.
Something for Nothing is basically like saying that you have to put in what you want out of life. Basically, you don't
Mm,
get something for nothing. You got to put in your time. You got to do what you got to do.
gotcha.
But yeah, um, I definitely put this album on my top five easily.
Oh wow,
This
that's
entire album's just fucking rocking, man.
must be an honor.
Just one song is great. It's,
I
I really enjoy the whole album. But yeah, I didn't go too in depth like you did with your thing,
mean,
but
I don't think I went too. I could have gone way more in depth, but I feel like
it's a
I
weird
covered the
thing
bases.
because well, it's a weird thing because you want to entice people to listen to the album at the same time you don't want to spoil it for them.
Oh, I didn't even think about like spoiling. I don't really think that's. Well, if the song or if the album has like a story in it, it sort of matters. But
I feel
in
like
my
it's
opinion,
good
you
to
can't
know the
really
story.
spoil a song or an album. In my
That's
opinion,
true. Unless I
if
sang
it's
it
like a
and did all the
movie, if you like perfect sing it, or in my opinion, if it's like a form of media, or if it's like a movie, a series, or a book or something, that's spoiler.
I agree,
But
yeah.
music wise, I don't think you can spoil music
I guess
unless I
so.
don't know, unless part of like a song off of an unreleased album that's gonna come out in like a month or so gets leaked, then
Kanye, let's go.
I guess that's a spoiler, but you can easily avoid it. But if you really, really, really want to listen to it, you can just look it up.
That's true. I guess I'm so used to that kind of stuff. I kind of want to entice people to visit stuff and see what they think about it on their own terms. Because sometimes there's genres that I don't like, but I like specific artists.
No,
Like
yeah,
if I was someone who didn't like rock and roll, I might like Rush, just because they're way different.
gotcha. Well, most of my genres, I have a feeling I want to say my genres that I always fuck with are rap, pop, um, alternative, psychedelic, metal, um, disco or like funk, and primarily that's mostly due to Daft Punk, really.
Yeah, because okay, Daft Punk is considered EDM, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, actually.
So I would kind of, I don't know. I do think Oliver has some EDM songs. I guess I don't know how to describe them. I'm not too familiar with tags. I don't like pay attention to that stuff. If it's a bop, I just listen
I
to it.
don't know.
That's I
I get very
don't pay
mostly because
attention to that.
I'm an avid Anthony Fantano viewer as well. So it really has been like I've gotten not nitpicky, but I've been like, this is what this is, and this is what this is. The production style is quite. Let me put on my red flannel real quick.
Let me shave my head and put my big rimmed glasses on.
But no,
Well,
I'm not really like nitpicky on that sort of shit. But it has really like made me aware of like the genre, the tempo, the feel, the production. It really has like it's
it
like
makes
a
you
new.
more
It's like
appreciative for
putting yeah
sure.
exactly. It's like putting on. You've been seeing through these like foggy ass, muddy, covered in sweat and cum and blood or whatever the fuck glasses, and then you just got like brand new prescription glasses. It's like a whole new world out there. That was a
Well, there's a
very weird
certain,
metaphor that I just pulled out of my ass, but
it works. Well, there's a certain line that I'm afraid of crossing. Like it's sort of like when you're a magician, you don't fall. There's no magic anymore. For like when you're a magician, you watching someone else do. You're analyzing it. You're critically analyzing everything. So like if you were like a director and you're analyzing a movie, you can't just turn your brain off and like enjoy it. I feel like there's a line to cross in music where you're like you'll be appreciative, but you'll also be like sort of nitpicky, a little bit more critical on certain things. You won't like his cheesy stuff anymore and
well,
stuff like that. I'm afraid of crossing that line because I'd rather be like blissfully ignorant if I were to say it.
it's not just
I'm definitely appreciative of like
yeah.
really good, intricate sounding songs that separate them from everyone else. But It's a certain line I'm afraid to cross.
It's a line that I can see that line that you're describing. And there are points where like I'm not nitpicky either, but like where I'm like, this is where this and this and this, like I can tell like this sample and all that stuff. But that's also the thing that helps, or that I love to like find out too, is because having this knowledge, I'm not gonna sound like I'm some fucking music major and I know what the hell I'm talking about. Don't know, I don't know shit. But it's like, for example, no hearing like a sample of like a song in the '60s that's being used now, and like the beat and like the tempo, but it's just like a little like altered and mixed differently. To me, it's like an Easter egg, and I love that sort of stuff. And it's not necessarily the point where I get too critical and I'm like, I'd start like not liking this type of song, because I really that's why I have so many genres open to me, because I'm down to listen to whatever, no matter how weird it sounds, or how, even though it's not something I normally listen to at all, sometimes I find an album that I absolutely love.
That's good, I guess. I just like, nah, it's not for me, I guess. I don't want to get too critical on it.
No, yeah.
Unless it's awful and I'm ragging on it. If I don't care about it, I'm gonna be as critical as I want. Like fucking country stadium music. Fuck that shit. I hate it. It all sounds the same.
Let's say
It's not even a question. It all literally sounds the same.
We have our tiny
Big
little
truck,
differences.
big bitch.
But at least we see eye to eye at the end of here.
Man, we have pretty good. No, I'm not gonna say we have similar taste in music. I'm gonna say there's definitely like more often than not I enjoy things that you give to me, and I think that you somewhat enjoy things that I give to you.
Oh yeah, I like finding out new shit. It's like, cause I have like found out some music from you as well.
I've been trying to. You've definitely brought me into the rap game and stuff like that. There's stuff I would not have like touched if you hadn't. Not even rap. Sometimes it's just like I wouldn't have even given the Weeknd person a chance. Not the band Weekend, but the person
That's an inner
Weekend.
joke, but just to explain that, he thought that The Weeknd was a band.
I mean, it is a band, sort
It's a
of.
person. It's a man.
Okay, so it's sort of like Michael Jackson. It's not a band; it's the person. That's the best way I can describe it. Oh my god.
Well, I feel like we wrapped up, at least, we went off on a tangent, but I feel like we got like at least.
We checked all the marks, I
Yep.
think, all the boxes.
It's a podcast. Fuck it. Throw on a label, ship it. We did it.
Not bad for a pilot. The problem is we got to keep this going.
I'm always down, but if this fails, editor, aka me, just know that I was always down, and yeah.
Okay.
Got him.
I do want to continue this because I think, like I said in the beginning, I'm not here for anyone else necessarily. I'm here for me. So I really don't care about if we have viewers or not. If we have viewers, that's cool.
That's cool.
If not, I feel like it should be in anything in life where you do it for you, not anyone else necessarily.
I feel like that's mostly what I imagine what every podcast starts out as just something to document. Just
there's definitely some out there. There's just like
there are some for the money, the clout, the. Oh yeah, I know, I know who.
Oh yeah.
But, I really same here. That's what I was down. I'm 100% down to just have our own spin, our own or not really clout chasing or nothing. I'm just literally here for the vibe, man.
I am too. It's all about self-improvement and just talking, I guess. Just talking. That's all it's about. That's what podcasts were about. It wasn't about money and sponsors. It was about talking.
Just talking.
It was about casting your pod out into the world.
All right. Well, that's a wrap. Good pilot, man.
It was good. I hope if anyone's listening to this, I hope you slept good and are ranting. I hope you're sleeping really good right now because you're so bored.
Or if you're busting a fat nut right now, I hope you nutted.
Why would that even happen?
I mean, you never know.
I know your voice is great, but when they listen to my voice every interval, they lose it. They lose their drive. All right, I guess we'll see you guys on episode 2, or even I guess
Episode 2.
if we're going by the rules that podcasts,
If it's a pilot, then it just kicks off into episode 2.
yeah,
That's the plan.
if CNN doesn't buy this episode, we'll just kick on to 2.
Alrighty. See y'all.
See ya.